Okay. Hi guys, thanks for watching our newest video, the Freycinet Peninsula hiking film. We did this trip only a week ago and we were really excited to share to all you guys. As you can see, the trip was beautiful and we had such a great luck with the weather. So we couldn't actually enjoy the trip any better. So in total, we did the whole circuit around the Freycinet Peninsula within 3 days and 2 nights. And in total, we did about 30 kilometers.
Yeah, look, the trip into Freycinet is a bit of a classic for me. I've done it many times, and this particular circuit we did anti-clockwise. So the first couple of days for us were pretty easy because most of it's flat. So you're doing from the Carpark to Hazards Beach around the point, which is quite scenic. Hazards Beach to the Hazards Beach campsite, which is where we stayed on the first day because of the time frame. We'd sort of started a bit later than we really wanted to. We were lucky there because we were the only ones there, and because of all the rain that we've had recently, the creek nearby was actually running, so water supply there was really good.
Yep.
Whereas I think in the height of summer, I think you'd probably struggle to find decent drinkable water there. And even the water that we got from the running creek we did boil, so that's obviously recommended. I think it'd be safe enough to drink without that, but there's no guarantee, so we didn't take any chances. So we had a good night there at Hazards Beach campsite, and then the next day it was a pretty easy walk from there to Cooks's Beach. which we stayed. There's a big camping area there, and many spots, quite isolated in different spots, so you don't get to see many of the other campers, which is good. We stayed pretty close to the cook's cottage there because the water supply has got tank water there. So water supply at Cook's is very plentiful, so there's certainly no issues with that. We set up the tent there pretty early in the afternoon, and we had an early lunch, and then we set off down to Bryans Beach, which is only like an hour one way, and that's recommended too. That's such a great spot. It's got a good view across to Schouten Island. The beach is amazing. We went back to Cooks's and we spent the night there, and then the next morning, actually we had a great sunset there, didn't we, at Cooks's?
Yes, yeah, the sunset was beautiful. The whole sky was on fire, and also on that night, actually the whole 2 nights we were down there, the sky was very clear, so you can easily can see the Milky Way, and yeah, it's absolutely stunning at night time as well.
But we had an early start. That was the second day, and we'd sort of planned on leaving the second day to get back over Mount Graham to Wineglass, which is a big day out.
It's quite steep, so
very steep. The first part of it's very scenic through quite a bit of bushland. It's really nice.
Yeah. And
then you start to get serious. So
the difficulty they rate on the website of the parks.tas.gov.au is quite difficult. So if you are not really fit, you just have to be prepared that there will be a couple of challenging sections.
Very steep and very slippery. And then before you get to the top of Mount Graham, there is a side trip that you can do to Mount Freycinet, which still eludes me. We still haven't done it because we were
aware that we're sort of running out time.
A bit of a time frame, so that's a 750 metre side trip, and even though that doesn't sound very far, it actually looks quite steep to get up on top of it. So
I reckon that it probably, from that sector, it probably take another hour or an hour and a half or so to come back to the same spot and continue to Mount Graham track.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you definitely have to spare that much of time if you want to do that side trip up to Mount Freycinet.
I think we'll probably go back and do that from Wineglass Bay. So from there we stopped at top of Mount Graham. Certainly panoramic views from there. I mean the horizon, the sea horizon that you can see is amazing. Great views up and down the coast. You can see Schouten Island, you can see Maria. Obviously mainland Tasmania, and obviously Wineglass and Hazards Beach and either side of that. So the views were fantastic. We were lucky with the weather that day as well, so we had some pretty awesome views.
From Cook's Beach back to Wineglass campsite, it is 11 kilometres, and from there to the Carpark is another 4 kilometres. So we did the whole 2 tracks on the same day.
So Wineglass Beach, there is a campsite as you get down there. It's got toilet facilities. In fact, the toilet facilities are available at both Hazards, Cook's and Wineglass Beach campsite. They've got the decent toilets there, and I found them very usable. The one at Hazards I thought was brilliant because no one had been using it as much as say Cook's. Didn't see any water at Wineglass Beach campsite. Not 100% sure how the water situation. There is a creek there,
but it's probably not recommended because it's quite low on the ground. So I don't think the quality is actually really great for cooking use. So just have to be aware of that. And talking about these particular trip, we try a few things new. The first thing is we usually stick with the backcountry dehydrated food. It's very super easy, and a lot of people here probably already using it. But with this particular trip, we're using another brand. It's called Stride Food. It's actually a Tassie company based food producing, particularly for camping. So we bought a couple of packs with it this time, and the quality was pretty good, isn't it?
We went for the 2-person option, which, as opposed to backcountry where you can just pour the boiling water into a two-person pack, this one's a little bit more difficult to cook because we just changed over to a jet boil from a trangia. I'm still undecided which one's better or which one's worse. Having used a Trangia for my whole walking life, so jet boil's new to me.
Yeah. That's another thing. The second thing that we try as new in doing this trip is actually the jet boiler. What I like about the jet boiler is quite compact, and I think is a little lighter than the Trangia that we used to have. But leave in the comment below what you think about in comparison between Trangia and the jet boiler. That would be great.
We thoroughly enjoyed this walk. When you walk up to the top to view over Wineglass, they've done a one-way viewing platform circuit there, which is amazing. What they've done is fantastic.
Yeah.
It's certainly opened it up for a lot more room, a lot more people can spread out, and obviously in the current times with COVID and everything, I think it's really, what they've done is amazing compared to what the track used to be like up there and back in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah, and of course that a lot of people have already know about this track, but if you haven't done it, you have to do it once in your life. Alright, thank you for watching, and I probably keep you updated to the next video.
See you on the next one.